All right, so Stefon Diggs is currently in court facing trial brought by his former personal chef, Mila Adams. The accusation against him is serious. She is alleging that he physically assaulted her while she was employed and living in his home. We'll get into the living situation in a moment, but first, let's walk through what she's claiming happened. According to the allegations, on December 2nd of last year, Stefon entered her bedroom, slapped her, placed her in a headlock that restricted her breathing, and threw her onto the bed. And the reported trigger for all of this? A pay dispute. She claims he owed her money for work she had already completed, and that when she confronted him about it that night, things turned physical. Stefon Diggs entered a not guilty plea back in February, and his legal team is coming out swinging. Their position is simple: none of it happened. They're pointing to the absence of witnesses, no one in the house who saw or heard anything, no photographs, and no medical records to support her claims. And they've added another layer to their defense. Before this case ever reached a courtroom, her team reportedly attempted to negotiate a financial settlement. His lawyers are using that to frame this as a money grab rather than a genuine assault allegation. Now, even before the trial began, there was widespread speculation that the relationship between Mila and Stefon went well beyond a professional chef and employer arrangement. Two things fueled that conversation: the fact that she was attractive and the fact that she was living inside his home. Given what people know about Stefon Diggs and his personal life, a lot of people found it difficult to believe that dynamic stayed strictly professional. And then there was a text message Mila reportedly sent him that ended with the words, "I am out of your life." That's not language you typically use with your employer. That reads like the end of something personal. And as of today, the speculation became confirmation. Mila Adams took the stand and told the courtroom directly she and Stefon Diggs were in a sexual relationship, and by her own description, it was complicated.
I would say it's complicated. We had it started out as friends. It started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and
what makes this even more layered is that the alleged relationship didn't start when she moved into his home. It predates her employment entirely. According to her testimony, Stefon slid into her DMs back in December of 2022. He initially reached out asking her to cook for him, and from that point forward, she says what started as a friendship gradually became sexual. Then, in February of 2025, he formally offered her a position working for him full-time, which meant moving into his house, preparing his meals daily, and earning around $2,000 a week. So by the time she took that job, there was already a personal history between them that complicated everything about that arrangement from day one. Now here's where the story takes a turn that most people weren't expecting. On the day of the alleged incident, December 2nd, Mila testified that she was already in an emotional state before anything even happened. The reason? She had just found out she wasn't going to be included in the trip to Art Basel with Stefon and his team. And the detail that really stopped people in that courtroom: she testified that she had been coordinating matching outfits with Cardi B for that trip. Let that sink in for a moment. At that time, Stefon Diggs and Cardi B were in a relationship, and according to this testimony, Mila was not only sleeping with Cardi's boyfriend, but she was also close enough to Cardi personally that the two of them were planning coordinated looks for a group trip together. Cardi had no knowledge of their sexual history, no idea that the woman she was talking to every single day was involved with her man behind closed doors. And when the allegations first surfaced back in December, Cardi B came out publicly and defended Stefon. She stood behind him without hesitation. The full picture, as it's now emerging in that courtroom, suggests that both Stefon and Mila were aware of exactly what they were doing, and Cardi was the last to know any of it. This trial only just got started, and based on what came out on day one alone, there is almost certainly more to come. The details are only going to get more complicated from here. So I want to hear from you. Did you already suspect that Mila and Stefon had a history before she confirmed it on the stand, or did today's testimony catch you off guard? Drop your thoughts in the comments. That's all for now, and I'll talk to you soon.
Guess that Chef Mila started today, and she just admitted that their relationship was more than just food. So if they, were in a sexual relationship, it seems as though they had the sexual relationship while he was dealing with Cardi. So, this man literally can't keep his pants zipped up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated with more from this trial because, like I said, it just started. It just got underway, and I feel like it's gonna be mess. She seems quiet, but she seems like she has some things to tell. She seems a little apprehensive to say it, but she's under oath, so she's still gonna say it. So we'll see.
I got real tea, and let's get into it. Stefon Diggs has officially arrived in court, and this is where everything shifts from headlines to evidence. Now, according to TMZ, his assault trial involving his former personal chef is now underway. Now, here's what matters. He's facing serious charges tied to an alleged incident during a dispute. While he's pled not guilty, this case has moved forward past accusations into the courtroom. And that changes everything, because once a case reaches trial, evidence gets presented, witnesses can take the stand, and both sides have to prove what actually happened. Now, I'm going to say this carefully. I'm not here to pick sides, but what I will say, something about this situation doesn't fully add up to me. And before y'all start running to the comments, that doesn't mean I'm saying anyone's lying. It means I'm watching, because court is where stories get tested. And that's where timelines get challenged. That's where credibility gets exposed. And this is where parts of it hasn't yet done that. So while everyone's forming opinions already, I'm just waiting to see what actually comes out under oath. Because this doesn't just affect his case, this affects his career. He's a free agent. Teams are watching, the public is watching, and now the court is listening. So the real question is, what's going to hold up when the evidence hits the table? There's no controlling the narrative anymore.
The jury for the Stefon Diggs trial, the Patriots player, has been decided, but it looks a little different than if you followed, say, the Karen Reed trial. As of 11:30 a.m. on Monday, 7 jurors had been selected, and that's all they needed. And that's because in district court, there's only 6 jurors that are needed. Whereas in superior court, which is the court that the Karen Reed trial was in, you need 12 jurors to deliberate. And then you always need extra people just in case something happens. As of about 12:15 Monday afternoon, opening arguments were about to begin. Mass Live has a reporter in the courtroom covering this, so be sure to go to masslive.com to see the live coverage. And of course, be sure to follow, and I will update you here.
Case is going to be really messy. All right, so for anybody who doesn't know, Stefon Diggs is being accused by his former private chef Mila Adams. So she's alleging that Stefon Diggs attacked her last year in 2025, December 2nd. So reports were saying that they were having an argument over unpaid wages. The private chef claims that the NFL star Stefon Diggs smacked her and tried to choke her out, which is why Stefon Diggs is facing felony strangulation charges and a misdemeanor for assault and battery. Stefon Diggs is saying this is all cap, which is why he pleaded not guilty in February. One huge thing to note is that Mila Adams, the private chef accusing Stefon Diggs of this, stated that she's not looking for a financial settlement and she's not looking for publicity. She just wants people to know that she's a survivor of domestic violence. Or at least that's what she said in the past. Yeah, this case is going to be a wild one, because so far from following this, I'm already seeing a pattern of having a sexual relationship with women that you hired. And it's multiple. It's not just Mila. She alleges that he hired somebody else to live with him who he's also having a sexual relationship with, and somehow her and this other woman got beat. Now, I'm gonna keep following this. I'm probably gonna put out another video later today. Anyways, how do you guys feel about this whole situation? Let me know in the comment section.